Remember your first time going through Anor Londo? Maybe you went into the painted world by accident. Maybe you spent hours getting past the wall knight. Whatever experience you may have had, we all know it was a grueling one, but nothing felt better than opening that door and being greeted by none other than the game's own son. And that's half the genius of Dark Souls. It was a reward. Not only are you presented with a great character that you love, but you're also rewarded with a save point, a moment to rest, comforted by this NPC. For me, saving a game shouldn't just be a pause in the action whenever you feel like. Saves should be treated like an actual mechanic and not just a pause button. Instantaneous saving is better for the modern consumer, I don't disagree with that. For the most part, it was a necessary change for a growing consumer market. But I'm here to make the case for why saving is such an important game mechanic, and point out some of the clever ways developers have used it in the past. Resident Evil is a masterpiece of video game design and is my favourite example to use when making this argument. Truth be told, it's not a very convenient game to play, but this inconvenience made the experience grow. Resident Evil puts you in a world where saving is embedded into the reality of the story. Resident Evil has this amazing B-list horror movie vibe going for it, and it works because it takes itself entirely seriously. Inspired by the tense tones of George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, every second that goes past takes you closer to danger. Shinji Mikami's true genius was embedding the save mechanic into the core gameplay. In the world of Resident Evil, Jill and Chris can only save at typewriters, which require ink ribbons to use. And these ink ribbons are physical entities within the game world, which means that they are finite, and which will take up one of Jill and Chris's limited inventory slots. Not only does this contribute to the inventory management of a survival horror game, it also limits the player on how often they can save, and forces you to tackle your fears head on. So for Resident Evil, its saving mechanic becomes a core part of its gameplay loop. Similarly, the Dark Souls franchise has a save at various checkpoints throughout each level. I'd love to keep going on about Dark Souls, but let's be real, every other video essay on YouTube is about Dark Souls, so I'll just, you guys get the idea. Checkpoint, sweet. Well thought out saving mechanics are an important part to games, and developers just don't think about it anymore, or very few do. You see it much more often in older games, where rather than big, flashy AAA products, they were much more niche. It's not wrong that saving has changed, it's made gaming much more accessible for a huge audience. Saving is often just an afterthought, but when given some thought, it can change the experience. Especially for horror games, it becomes a moment of relief for the player. Look at a game like 2016's Prey, for example. A graphically impressive, immersive RPG. This game is gorgeous, but Prey relies on its quick save function, which derails all the tension that the game has, and makes difficulty trivial when you can keep restarting and stopping at any given moment. When developers put those features in the game, I will use them, but I'm not gonna lie, it takes away from it. And to be honest, I can make a whole video on how much I hate fucking quick save. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this though, so drop it in the comments. At the very least, saving is a gatekeeper for progress, and for a lot of games, a save point turns into a goal. Thanks for watching, I really enjoyed talking about games like this. I had loads more to talk about, but I couldn't really find the right way to put it all in. I think I'll make another video at some point on quick saving, because I hate that shit. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the flip flop.